Transition. That should work. There should be plenty of audio here. Waiting on the 15-second delay. Sticky. It's probably because it's using a more sensitive mic right now. Let me try adding. Oh, I know why it might be choppy. Let me turn that off. Turn that off, that off, that off. Transition, that should be better. Let me know if that's better. Turn the fan off. Oh, still choppy? Okay. Create new. Okay. Transition. Test. Everything's plugged in well, yes. There we go. Test. Test. What a great start. I am using 1960s Mass Attack. Now choppy with echo. Choppy plus echo. It's a bonus. It's a bonus. Sorry about that. I've been having an issue. It's very strange. Out there in the shop, everything works the way it's supposed to, plugged into where it needs to be. With OBS, you have to have everything plugged into the proper ports, or you have to redo everything. And what happened last week, I brought it in here and plugged it into the proper ports, and this camera wouldn't work, and I had to use this other camera. doesn't seem to want to show. Copy. I know how to get this working. What the? Y'all want to see where I'm at with this? Yeah, look at that. That's trying to. For some reason it's backwards. There we go. Sorry. I had a whole big plan. Um, at the beginning, I said hello to everybody. Um, Eric, morning. Dog Bones, Clara. What a rough one. All right, so trying to catch up here. Um, choppy sound. Hey, everybody, how are you all doing? Good morning. Um, I am having a good run today, Adam. I am. Um, yes, it's a rough morning. Um, now I sound like a cat. I don't know if you guys are messing with me or what. I've got to hear this. You guys are. Alright. I have no way to check other than opening the video myself. That is choppy. I am Iron Man. Oh, why is it so choppy? Hmm. I legitimately don't know what's wrong with it. I think it's an OBS issue. Yeah. Well, let's try this. Um, transition. Let's not do that because then I gotta go through the audio thing all again. Oh, this is driving me insane. Um, this is just bad. rough. Thank you, Speargrass. You know what? Adam, help me out here. Answer Skype if you're able. Yeah. I was going to see if the audio from the NDI source was doing the same thing. That would confirm that it's a software issue. But Amy, how you doing? Happy Sunday. Yeah, I'm working through some audio issues right now. What I'm going to try and do is get Adam on the line and speak to him through the NDI source, and that should be pure. Instead of that'll come if he's clear, that will be bypassing any of my mics and going straight to you guys. And that should tell me if it's a hardware issue or a software issue. You know? It's just I hate audio issues. I need to get a dedicated mic. When in doubt, blame Carl. Absolutely. And I was going to say, I do know now for a fact that I will not be I will not be live next weekend at all. I am in talks with Big Dog Forge. I have to let him know, but he may be covering Sunday next week. Let me get Speargrass in the mix here. There you are. All right. Hello to everybody joining. Refer to the words on the screen. I'm having some audio issues. Adam, mic check. Okay. Let me try to switch over to guest primary. Skype. I gotta add my camera to Skype. Here, you guys talk to Adam for a bit.
Me? We'll pick on Yammers. we can all pick on Yammers like a robot at the moment. No worries. No worries. Okay, so Old Wolf has joined us. Eric apparently will miss next weekend. Well, that's unfortunate, Eric. I might be missing next weekend as well because I'll be at work. Catch you later there, Gordon. Thanks for joining us there. I'm pretty good there, Henry. I'm getting along, doing me thing. Unfortunately, it's come to the end of my holiday, but hang on, no, people can see me now. There we go. I'm just bringing up the chat on my computer. Oh, and I've got my background. Still have to update that background. Year and a half full. Okay, so yes, I sound better. That's good. I'm glad, Aaron. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me in the background because I've got it going on my TV, so I'll turn that down. And okay, can everyone hear Yamas now? Ben says your sound messed up. Yeah, okay. So it's just your audio, it seems there, Yamas. So apparently I'm choppy too. I am Iron Man. Computer COVID. Okay. Okay, yeah, apparently when you joined, the audio went, but now that Yarmouth is... Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, okay, guys, now that Yarmouth has dropped out again, can you guys hear better? Yeah, it's just you there, Yarmouth. Looks like I'm running the show tonight. No worries, Gordon. Catch you later there, mate. Thanks for joining in. If you haven't already, guys, don't forget to smoosh that like button, like that smoosh button, share on all your favorite social media, but don't go anywhere. You're just going to have to run it from the background. You can be the producer there, Yammers. Because I've got Yammers in my ear, guys, so I can still hear him even though you guys can't. So he can relay. You should hear what he's saying about something. You got, no, I'm joking. I Yep. G'day, Aaron. Yammers have been trying to say hi to the whole stream, so he says hi everyone. He did go through a few names, of course, when I was on earlier trying to go in the chat. So g'day, Eric, Aaron, Dana, Ben, of course. You're here. I love you, Ben. Dogbone, Mountain Critter. Apparently, did I see you say it was Mrs. Mountain Critter there today? And Sandy, JT, Henry St. Forge, of course, Gordon there has left. Who else is here? Eric, Mike, g'day, how are ya? How's it going? What do you know in Strike a Light? Old Wolf. Who else have we got? Just scrolling back up through the chat. And what is everyone up to this fine Sunday morning or Sunday evening if you are in the southern hemisphere like me, or afternoon if you're over in Europe? Oh, I'm good. I'm glad my audio's clear. Like I said, I've got Yamet producing at the moment. He's in me. I can hear him great through the Skype call, but it just seems that when it's when it's transferred over, him going through OBS, it's a little bit of an issue. Yes, boy, it's part of my evil plan. I've finally taken over the live stream. I'm joking, of course. If anyone took it over, it should, you know, I wish it was Tim. Unfortunately, I don't know if Tim's here this morning, this evening. Yep. No worries. All right, so guys, I just got Yamas in my ear saying he's actually going to try and get someone else on to co-host with me this evening, and I'll try and of course keep it to the hour so you guys, or thereabout, so you guys can still go about your regular Sunday. But so we're going to try and get Yamas is going to try and get someone to join in the call so that we can have a good chat. So guys, just to let you know, I actually can't hear anything that's coming through because I've got my this live stream coming through like my TV, my regular TV. I'll have to turn it up to hear what you guys can hear. Just a second, because I can't hear any beeps. He's cussed once or twice. He's trying to keep it a rated PG just in case he drops back in. Or you can flick him a message and see if he's awake. I would say he probably would still be awake. So yeah, so we've got Old Wolf or Sam are the two options that we're trying to get on, guys. Just to let you know, because I'm talking to you and talking to Yam at the same time through the same microphone. So, oh Ben, you should hear what he said about you saying to you right now. Good morning, James Jones. Welcome to the stream there, mate. It's not your usual pretty face of Yarmouth, but it's an effective way to do it there, JT, self-censoring, make sure that he can't be here. Well, George, I'm glad the rain has stopped. Good old in the good old UK. What else? So what's everyone got planned going on for today? G'day Curtis, thank you for joining in. Unfortunately, the prettier half to this is being Yarmes is unfortunately no longer available. He's having a little bit of an audio issue, so he's just thrown me into the deep end so I can run things for a moment while he gets everything covered. Now he's swearing at me. No, he's not really swearing at me. Imagine what I didn't. Ben, I can imagine. I know your sense of humour. Apparently, Ben doesn't have Skype. May have to send him a bigger hammer. Yeah, of course, you know. Isn't that how a couple of space stations work? You know, if they don't work, hit it with a hammer. Just I remember I actually grew up with a TV where sometimes the reception wouldn't come through properly, so you just had to give it a nice slap up the side of the TV in order to make it work. Sorry guys, just put my hair up so it's out of the way. Round of applause. Is that where you all go like this? Good morning, Rob. Thanks for joining us. It's of course I'm taking over for Yamas. He's having a little bit of audio issues this morning or evening, as I like to say. So that way it concludes everyone from morning to evening time. Because of course, you know, you're talking to me from the future. It's now very early Monday morning. G'day, Augie. Yep. Maybe we'll see. All you can do is ask there, Yamez. So like I said, guys, I've got Yamez in my ear as well. I can hear him while I'm reading your comments, and I've got the audio on in the background a little bit so I can hear if anything happens to me. We're just trying to get someone else at the moment to try and join us. Thank you for the super chat or sticker chat there, JT, $1.99 from JT coming in. Everyone can give him a bit of applause, and JT says, "There you go, a new mic." No need to apologise there, Clara. It's things just happen. Sometimes, we get things set up, and computer issues happen, tech issues happen. Clara, oh, you would have just sort of seen that there. I know you just added yours there, Jay. The Yamas. Yeah. Okay. No worries. So it's going to be a race to see who wants to join in. So yeah. So okay. Mm. So everyone can see Yamez's real name, James Ace, of course. We all kind of figured that out. And $10 from Ben Toombs. How about one that works? And give Benny a line of applause as well. Eric, you're still in bed. No one wants to see that. Well, guys, anyone who wishes to jump in and give us a hand, you're quite welcome. Let's chat about what's been going on this week with you guys in your forges. Me personally, you don't know if you guys have been aware, but I recently bought 40 acres. So mine's been running around like a headless chicken trying to get everything sorted out with that regarding the property. Building a house, of course, and with that will come a new workshop. So yeah, just getting everything sorted out. Of course, I've got to run power out. Luckily, I've already got a bore, or what some of you guys would call a well drilled. So I've got to organise, well pumps and all that type of thing. So it's been a very, very busy time, and but also very exciting. So there will be something coming up soon regarding that. You'll be able to see some footage of the new property, all covered in spear grass, and yeah. So what else has been going on with all you guys? Has anyone made anything awesome particularly, or taken on a new project? I don't do rants very well. I'm far too happy. Boar's been forging skulls and dragons. It's been I would love to forge a dragon at some stage. That would be interesting to do. It takes a lot of skill, a lot of artistic. I don't have that artistic vision for doing animals and sculptures and stuff like that. I just hit heavy things with a hammer. Go on, Clara, give it a go. Why not? Oh, awesome, Clay! You got your website up and running. I'll have to check that out at some stage. Well, I've got the web up here as well. So that is awesome. We've got some handrails coming up. Eric, the best thing about this art is this art that I've found is challenging yourself, and doing things that make you nervous. The first one might not turn out all that great, but every time you pick up something and try something new, you learn new skills, and you improve yourself. And of course, sometimes you surprise yourself and end up making something that looks spectacular on your first try. Doesn't always happen, but it's a good thing when it happens. Well, it's coming into summer for you guys, and isn't there, Ben? No, hang on. I'm thinking the wrong time of year. It's coming to summer for us, going into winter for you, and everyone still wants barbecue tools. That's interesting. Well, hey, got to make hay while the sun shines. Making stock for the live demo, Curtis. Cool. That sounds awesome. Well, that's true too there, Bo, with the right tools. And sometimes making the right tools is just as fun. I actually recently made a tool for something I've got coming up, and I'm really looking forward to using that. G'day, Sully. You joining Adam here for Sunday morning church. G'day, Amy. Thank you for joining. I hope your wonderful better or worse half. Sorry, you're the better half of the duo. I hope he's joined you this morning too. George made a balustrade to stop the grandkids from falling. That's a really good thing. It's good when you make something artistic as well as useful. Some things are just artistic, but something like a balustrade is a really good thing to do. JT's making a mini aluminium roses. I'll tell you what, watching you guys forge things other than steel, like aluminium, and I'm not saying that other word there, JT, or you almost called me, is still inspirational. I still love those feathers that Hans has made. Eric, think of it this way: you only ever have to make the tools once if you make them properly. So you know, those tools are things that you're going to have for a long time, and you can use them over and over again. So yeah, and you always find other uses for tools that you make too. You know, it's like good old spanner, or what you guys would call a wrench, an adjusting wrench that always manages to turn into a hammer, doesn't it? Well, I hope your hands let you there, Dana. Are you still making that balustrade? You still making that balustrade for the stairs? Um, I've been meaning to go into your onto your channel and have a look at some of the live streams I missed to see how that's going, because I can't wait to see that finished. Oh yeah, no, well, see, they generally look about a foot long in the pictures there, Ben. So that's how big I think they are. If they're bigger than that, that's absolutely huge. Uh, G'day, Amy. Amy, the better half of Amos Adventurers has joined in. So I'm presuming she is currently playing so that good old Matt can hear as well. Good morning there, Matt. Hope you're enjoying the drive. And Curtis is having a problem with the roses. When I see petals to the stem, they get loose after I could up the leaves. Okay, so has anyone got any advice for Curtis helping with those leaves? I generally find that uh, with the rose stem, when I've done roses, I've generally put it into a vise just below the rose head, and then of course used like a monkey tool or something like that in order to tighten up the petals so that it gives it a little bit of pressure. And then Yamez is typing something on the screen while I'm talking, and it's really distracting. No, that's all right. I'm trying to talk to the camera, and I see this thing coming up on the screen. It's like, oh, a different a different type of it's too big for the screen. Yeah, no worries. Okay, Aaron Dennis just got some 5100. A machine at work is 8 a bearing. Oh, that sounds good. Are you going to have you done Damascus yet there, Aaron? It's 52 100 might be a good thing to try out. If not, you know, you've got some really good steel to work there. Okay, so apparently Clara now has Skype. You're Bon Jovi, you're still driving through those mountains, aren't you? All that weight behind you going back down those mountains might be a little bit of a interesting experience. Okay, so the Curtis, Grandad just gave you a little bit of a information. Size the hole in the petals tighter to the stem. He's made a few roses in his time as well. I'm sure he's broken a few hearts in his time. And what have I missed? Yes, boy, it's aluminium. Um, JT and I have a running joke. He keeps at one stage I was in a chat with him where I pronounced it the American way. Now, just to clarify, and all this argument goes on all the time. Now, aluminium, and I'll say it just this once, aluminum are both correct. They are actually both the correct way to say it. The story comes down to aluminium when it was created first in Europe. The guy who created it actually named it aluminium in Europe, and then under traditional naming conventions of new metals and stuff like that, But when he moved to the US, he renamed it more in line with Latin versions of names like aurum and argum for gold and silver, and renamed it aluminum. So both aluminium and aluminum are correct. So it's just a regional variance in the way it's actually pronounced. Yeah, you never thought you'd learn something ever in Sunday church like this, did you? I did it on purpose. Yames is actually quite enjoying being a producer. Um, all the pressure's off him, so it's on me. No, I don't mind. I'm having quite a good time. Good time this evening. Okay. So yeah, Clara, send Yames a message. I'm sure you would have seen it in the chat anyway. Send Yames a message, and or click on or copy that link, and get into this. Uh, get onto this. Mm. Okay, so Yames was just saying maybe a quick thing with Clara, but at least it'll be able to get us to figure out things quicker. So yeah, Alex Steele had a rant about that. Look, there's regional variations in language, even the UK, Australia, and the US. We all speak English, but there's a reason why they say British English, American English, and Australian English, because we all do have different ways of talking about things. We have not only different measurements, of course, here in Australia we use a metric system predominantly, whereas in the US you still use the imperial system, and in the UK they kind of use a mixture of imperial and metric. But also, there's a wide range of other things which are slightly different, uh, when it comes down to words, when it comes to even like steel classifications. Like, I think we call a mile steel, according to what I remember very vaguely from my mate Sam, is we call mile steel 836. Now, our steel classification for high carbon steel and stuff like that are different to what they are in the US. They not always, but sometimes, and there's a general standard here in Australia, which is different to US standards and stuff like that. So there's a lot of varying things, but we, as a community, we make it work, and sometimes we give each other a little bit of Mickey, but that's all part of the fun, isn't it? And Clara, have you sent a message through to Yames? Um, because he's not seeing a message from you at the moment. He's trying. He's trying to find the message if you have sent one through, but he's just trying to find it. And I was actually having a chat with Grandad the other day, doing good, excited to get out in the forge. Now, that's actually a really good topic. We were discussing hammer techniques, and Grandad was out in the forge the other day, and he some hammer techniques that he's been using finally clicked into place for him, and he was able to do some simple task tapering and drawing out a lot quicker. So sometimes it's a matter of practice and you know, understanding the why of why we do things. And like we were talking about how sometimes you, particularly when you're new to blacksmithing, and a lot of you guys that are more experienced would understand this, but when you're new to blacksmithing, you put your thumb on the back of the hammer, and that's to aid your hammer control, your head control, your face control when you're striking steel. Now, generally experienced blacksmiths know that's not a good idea, because when you're smacking the steel, the vibrations can travel up your thumb and into your tendons and stuff, and cause, it can cause blacksmith elbow, it can cause carpal tunnel and all sorts of issues. Excuse me. Catch you later, MC. Thanks for joining us. But Rob was getting into the habit of, you know, moving his back and striking with a fuller hit, and he's starting to get more practice into that hammer control, and he's knowing the why of doing things helps click. Oh, hang on, we've got a Skype picture drop in. There we go. Looks like we might have someone joining us very shortly. Okay, so the Insane Blacksmith, welcome. Okay, that's still Clara. Okay, no worries. Change over to a different profile, perhaps. I am a copycat. No, I'm not a copycat there, Ben. Who's the show off there, Ben? Who's showing off? I don't show off. I try to be humble. Oops, there we go. Hello, Clara.
Hello. How's everything going?
I'm all right. Oop, we've got one. You can see Clara. Clara's just about to join us, everyone.
Hey, how's everything going? What's going on with OBS?
Okay, so Yamas is, just to let everyone know, Yamas is trying to get Clara and I both on the same screen. So while Yamas is sorting out his producing skills in the background there, Clara, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your journey in blacksmithing?
So, like, I think 4 years ago, I saw the King of Random's video on making a metal melting foundry, and so I built that, started melting aluminum, and then I upgraded that by getting a forge burner, and I built a bucket forge that I used to do like more casting with, like, my goal was to cast aluminum bronze and to be able to melt copper. And I thought blacksmithing was just completely out of my realm. So I avoided it for probably about a year, and then eventually I found a couple of YouTube channels that I was really into, and I saw the basics of blacksmithing, so I decided, well, I have a furnace, I might as well throw some steel in there while I'm melting something, just to see how well I do. And yeah, I loved it, and I've been doing it for 3 years now.
Awesome. So, so are you just a hobby blacksmith, or you do make a little bit of money on the side, or, you know, you said you did have a website, so.
Yeah, I never intended it to be just a hobby. I always wanted to try to get it to be professional. Like, I wanted to be like, I want to be a full-time blacksmith, and have it be like my main source of income, hopefully. But we'll see how that turns out. I just launched my website 2 days ago, so I'm excited about that. It's still got some formatting issues that I need to work out, but it's currently running.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just let everyone in the chat. So whoever's talking at the moment gets a screen. So instead of having a side by side, so it's a little bit more of an interview format. So you guys can see and focus on the person that's actually talking. So that's the reason why it looks like a horse race there, Eric. So Henry St. Forge has asked there, Clara, what's your website? And what I'll do is, because I am actually an admin as well, whilst you tell it out, I'll actually type it in, and that way people can actually copy and go to your website a little bit later and have a bit of a look.
Cool. So it's www.insaneblacksmith.com.
www.insaneblacksmith.com. No worries, because I'm actually going to copy that myself. Hey, I'm used to you talking and me typing it in there, Yummers. Yummers is the producer in the background, and he's blabbling in my ear. And sorry, Yummers, I'm not used to it.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm actually gonna steal a little bit of the Forgecast thunder, and let's have a little bit of a chat about who your inspirations are there, Clara. I know the boys at the Forecast won't have too much of an issue with me stealing a little bit of their format. If they do, they can call me. but yeah, who are your inspirations? Like, who inspires you to get into the Forgecast? Let's throw this out to the chat as well, guys. Who are your inspirations to that help you get out to the Forge and everything as well?
That's a very good question. Let's see. So I started out watching John Switzer on Black Bear Forge, and he was probably like I started watching like just hours and hours of his videos a day. So I got a lot of inspiration from him. Obviously, some of the bigger channels like Torbjörn and Alex Steele. I went to school in the Adirondacks, so I knew two blacksmiths. One's a blacksmith, the other one's a farrier, and they were both very supportive and helped teach me a little bit. So, one other person, I guess not really a person, I would say, would be nature. I do a lot of like leaves and like the blacksmith's family tree. I'm super excited to make a leaf for. I think that's a wonderful idea, and I've like always wanted to make a tree. So it's definitely like sort of reaching that goal before I can make it.
That's absolutely, it's open to everyone. So I just want to pop in and say, see you, George. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And Mike Black Swamp sounds really good, as one word, of course. Mark Newsom, thank you very much for joining us. Yamez is here in the background. He's currently producing for us this evening. And we have a very special guest, Clara, joining us from the Insane Blacksmith. So she's joining us this evening as a special guest. This is a community-run live stream for Blacksmiths Church tonight. So we're learning a little bit about Clara and what she's up to. Guys, don't forget in the chat, join in and tell us who your inspirations are this week or in general, and how you got into blacksmithing. Ben Strickland, g'day. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you're well this evening. So, what do you specialize in there, Clara? What's this? You said you make a bit of leaves, but what are the things that you enjoy doing, and what's your goals as you move forward into the blacksmithing journey even further?
I really want to just learn as much as possible, get my techniques down, and make stuff that is useful and interesting and fun for everyone that in like the community, stuff like that. I don't do too many blades. I have the box of all of my products if you want me to show some of the stuff.
Show some of your stuff. Why not? Well, I'm always interested to see what other makers are out there doing.
So this thing is a key bar with some leaf accents. Um, this was like the original style of leaf that I did before I put anything, like before I put the veins and stuff, before I knew like using chisels. So it's a little demonstration of how a person can grow in the blacksmithing community with help. Of course, I didn't come up with any of these techniques.
There's nothing. I believe there's very few things under the sun in blacksmithing that is new. So it's either rediscovered or someone's put a new twist on it. So doing that, that key bar that you've done looks really good, and of course, everyone you do afterwards is going to come up even better.
uh, I have this thing. This was the first split bar that I've ever done, and I turned it into a heart. Uh, it is super uneven. If you look at the back, you can see it's like all twisted and everything. Uh, I still am working on that. I don't think I used the right kind of chisel to cut it. I used uh just like my normal round chisel. Actually, no, I used a straight chisel that I found on the street. And I think if it had rounded corners, it would have turned out a little bit better.
Yep. But hey, things like that. I've always like that hook there. Reminds me of stuff you hang tack on in a horse stable and stuff like that. That would look really good. Particularly little girls that have ponies and stuff like that. I just imagine them hanging the bridle and everything up on a hook just like that. So that's really cool.
Yeah,
So
when I was actually where I went to school, we had a draft horse program, and the professor gave me a bunch of their old horseshoes that they didn't use anymore, and said like, hey, if you make anything from this, just like let us know, and you can have all the horseshoes. And so I did make like a hook, a drive hook from the horseshoe. It was just like a simple thing to hold up the halters or whatever they use it for. I'm not really sure.
Yep. Okay, so just got a couple of hellos here. So, hello, the Sky Forge. Thanks for joining us today. As gives his apologies. He's just, as it says on the screen, having OBS issues. So this is a community-run stream. I'm Adam from Speargrass Forge, and of course we've got Clara as our special guest this evening that we're interviewing from the Insane Blacksmith. Also, so Dana just wanted to say that Roy did it for him. It's all he's doing. Roy is an inspiration to all of us, I believe. He is an absolutely fantastic blacksmith. Who else have we got dropping in? I just did see someone else dropping in this evening. Who was it? Someone else came back. Maybe it was Ben, second Ben. So yeah, Ben has dropped back in. Yep, that's absolutely right there, Aaron. Copying is learning. Well, sometimes it's not so much copying as paying homage to. And Yamas has now put a palm tree on my face. Thank you very much for that, Yamas. Okie dokie. So yeah, Clara, can you keep telling us about what you like to make? So, do you intend on still being an artistic and blacksmith like that as you go forward, or do you see an avenue that you'd like to pursue? Like, of course, we've got hammer makers in the community, and we've got people that make tongs and stuff like that. Is there a specific avenue you'd like to pursue, or you like to be that general artistic and usefulness blacksmith? Someone that Matt forges something that's useful and can be used.
I would say I don't have a particular direction. I obviously want to make a few hammers for myself, like because the rounding hammer that I got from Nordic Forge, which is like fantastic. It's a little small because I think it's a Farrier's rounding hammer. So I do want to get into hammer making, but really just for myself, just to get more tooling. I want to make tools to make tools. Um, I could see myself producing some hammers. I want to do chasing work, and was it engraving? That's something that I'm really interested in moving forward.
Hammer and chisel engraving or pneumatic engraving?
Uh, Hammer and chisel. I work without electricity most of the time.
Yep. Ah, fantastic. That I find. Yep. So I've got Yamez talking in my ears. He just said the hammer making is fun for you, those of you in the chat, and it's very addictive.
The
I haven't made a hammer yet myself, though. Yeah, I can, but I look forward to doing
the
it too.
shark hammer that Yamez has is like wild.
Yeah,
I
Donny Sharko and Harmscraft. Yep, that's a freaking cool hammer.
um I really just want to keep making stuff that's useful. I make hooks mainly like okay. I have two more things to show. This will probably be the last of the two things. So this is uh, a curtain holder
Oh, cool.
with a leaf accent on it,
Yeah.
and so like you just put your curtains behind it. I don't know. I don't know if
You've
it's such
just
a
given
problem
me an
people have.
You've just given me an idea there, Clara, because as I had said earlier, I'm actually building a house, so we've got to be turnkey. But I'm not actually going to have anything like curtain rods or anything like that with the house. It's something we have to add as we go on. So that is actually a way I can incorporate my smithing into my house. I'd never actually thought of making curtain rod holders and stuff like that. So thank you very much for that idea. I'm going to stick that in back
Yeah,
of my
of
head.
course.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
I must also say I have such respect for you. I didn't ever. I wanted to do live streaming. I wanted to do making videos. But the reading all of the comments and everything and keeping up to it, you guys are just so talented at it.
So yeah, Aaron. Yeah, I'm sure that your phone is plenty smart enough. Or yes, it was only a palm tree, thankfully. Mark Newsom, thanks very much for joining us. Not been around much, Yames, but it's interesting seeing and listening to others in the group. Thank you very much for your appreciation. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to Yamez's channel. And yeah, smoosh that like that snoosh. Head over to I'm sure Yama's also pop it down. We've got theinsaneblacksmith.com to give a little bit of support to one of our wonderful community members, Clara, the Insane Blacksmith. And the curtain rod holder did look right there, the Sky Forge. Ben Toots apparently made one for his back door. Yep. Yeah, so when we stop talking, it's because Yamez is talking and it's very hard to continue a conversation over the top of him with you guys in the chat while he's yabbering away in the background. So yeah.
I think it's doing pretty good.
And Dana, yes, Hans' work is absolutely exquisite. He is an award-winning blacksmith, of course, and he is an inspiration to me just as much as a few others. And yes, so we have the voice of God, Yamas, in there. And that last thing you wanted to show us there, Clara, what was that?
So this is one of my favorite things. Kind of hard to demonstrate. Does not fit on all the frame. Oh, I guess. So it's a headphone stand. This was, I think, the second headphone stand that I've ever made, and I'm definitely going to keep this one for myself. I have another one up for sale, but it might be the first time I've riveted two bars together with this. It's just 3 bars and then this piece of angle iron that I forged down. You put the headphones up there. I've had it on sale for Etsy a couple of times, but nobody's ever seemed to want it. The angle iron was recovered from outside of my workshop. I worked in a barn, and out in the field somewhere there was just some twisted, wicked angle iron, and I I'm sort of an environmentalist. Like I don't see the need to buy new steel if it's not necessary. So I just took this angle iron, threw it in the forge, see if I can get it working, and it turned out into this lovely little project.
That's one thing that I find, you're really inspiring there, Clara. And one thing I love about this art in general is the ability to take stuff that, particularly steel, which is other people would look at and say, okay, oh, that's junk, and turn it into something not only useful but exceptionally unique. And I mean, like I can near on promise you that a headphone stand is okay. It might have been made a few times, sure, in the last 20 years, but that's unique to this period of blacksmithing because they didn't need headphones 100 years ago. So something you're making that's unique. Yep, and that's
Colonial
exactly right
headphone
there,
stand.
Grandad. Blacksmithing turns us into iron scavengers. I have a heap of steel. I reckon I've got about 1.5 tons of steel that I'm going to have to move to the new property. So yes, we do turn into a bit of steel scavengers. You look at something and go, oh, I could use that for something later on, and it goes into the trailer or into the back of the workshop just in case. You should set up channel memberships, apparently, according to the Skyforge. I'm sure he'll reply in the comments. Yeah, by talking like they can hear you. He's got a Patreon and all that type of thing, and of course you can always super chat. And thank you very much, JT, for your love heart sticker and $1.99. Claps of course for you, but yeah, so he's got Patreon and stuff like that, but Yamos believes it might be a bit too early at the moment to do channel memberships. Of course, Yamez is still growing. He's sitting at currently at 2,260 odd subscribers. And so it might be a bit early for channel subscriptions for him, but of course that might be something that comes up in the future. So Clara, back to you. Let's continue this conversation. Have you got any specific projects or goals that you want to tackle in the near future, or do you have a dream project that you want to do at some stage?
I don't have like a specific, like, I don't have anything envisioned. I figured I'll get something in mind a little bit later. I want, like, right now I'm making like hooks and smaller decorations and stuff like that. I would really like to have some sort of larger, just pure art that, like, would be featured in a museum or something. Something that, like, would take a few days to work on and would just be absolutely massive. Like, the first thing I kind of sort of attempted to do, I found a 16-foot piece of rebar on a bike ride. So I picked it up and I folded it in half, and then I just carried it home with me. And I was thinking, like,
That's dedication.
it was so cool. It was right by the railroad tracks. Um, I was just trying to figure out what I could do with it, and as I was straightening out the bends and everything, I thought it looked kind of like a snake. So I was thinking maybe I could do something like that, but I ended up just cutting it up into smaller sections, and currently it's slated for fire pokers. So I'm gonna uh, draw a taper on it, forge it down, back on itself, and forge weld it to get a point and the end of the fire poker. And I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do for the handle, whether it's just going to be like some twists and another bend, or if I'm going to like put wood scales or something on it. I had a person in Keene Valley, Dartmouth, Rustic Goods. They wanted me to forge the fire poker because they said that, like, they had a couple of fire pokers, but they're all like 3 feet, and like people always complain about how close their hands have to get to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to do that. And that will be probably the largest project that I'm going to make currently.
It's all good. Projects like that are really good to test yourself as well, particularly because you have that freedom. You know, try stuff like, you know, your basket twists, and that's a matter of chiseling some stuff in or cutting some stuff in and doing some basket twists. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you need an opportunity like this to make your best work, but also try a few new things. That's what I do anyway. I mean, I recently, and just in the background, here is when I was forging a Viking sax. Now, it's not a completely traditional, as you can see, it's got a guard and a bit of a butt cap, but in that build, I actually, because I've made a couple of knives before, sorry, I'm pointing at the wrong side, it's that side. In that build, I'd never made a guard before, I'd never made a butt cap, I'd never burnt on a handle, I'd never made a handle scales for a knife ever, so I actually did a whole heap of things that I'd never tried before, and it came out spectacular. So don't be afraid to challenge yourself and give yourself that, you know, do a little bit extra beyond what you're used to doing, because sometimes it can turn out spectacular. And so just go into the chat. So thank you very much, guys, for saying I've stepped up. I'm just trying to help out my friend Yamez here. You know, when he's having a little bit of an issue, as you can see, he is still in the chat. Rebar snakes. So Jason from GT from Jason Forge to Clara says rebar snakes look cool. Do a snake inside fire poker. That'd be really good.
Yeah.
Maybe if you curl the the rebar back around itself and turn the head into, you know, turn the end of it into the snake head. That would look really cool too. Yeah.
That's a fantastic idea. I thank you very much.
And Aaron Dennis says, I found some raw island while fishing, usually near old bridge bolts. That's true. Kids woke up, so video gets kind of tough once in a while. That's true there, Eric. Some things can get a little bit difficult when you've got kids, but you know, you still do a fantastic effort whilst doing it. And Sam Town Bladesmith has joined us this evening. G'day there, my fellow Australian. And of course, Yamez says he loves you so much. Big kisses and hugs. So yeah, so just to let you guys know, they've joined in this evening a little bit late. Yamez has had some issues with his microphone and OBS, so as a result, he asked me to graciously take over, and as a result, we're having a bit of a meet the community show. So today we have Clara was joining us, just having a little bit of a chat with her and how she got into the blacksmithing game and what's expired and what she's going on. Of course, she does have a website up and running. Recommend you go check that out. That's www.insaneblacksmith.com, and have a little bit of a bo peep there. But yeah, so we're just continuing to have a bit of a chat with Clara there.
So I know I said that I only was going to show 2 more things, but I've been reaching into my box of products, and I if you're interested, I have a couple more things to show.
Show us your work there, Clara. We love to see what the people.
This one is a super simple project I would highly recommend to anybody trying to get into blacksmithing and looking for something useful to make. This was just a 1 foot by 3 mil mixing metric and imperial section of a fence that I found in the woods. It was like a rolled up section of fence. I'm guessing like the last 20 feet they just threw away, and I used this. This is a barbecue kebab skewer, and it's flat, so that way when your food won't turn on the spit. It's super easy project. Just throw a taper on one end, flatten out the middle, throw a taper on the other end and curl it, and then put a little back bend, and it's a fun, easy project to do.
That is really, really simple and looks really good too.
The kebabs were fantastic.
Don't forget to oil them up with food grade oil, you know, some canola oil and beeswax and stuff like that, because of course that makes sure you're not getting any horrible stuff into your when you're eating. That's just for the guys in the community that might not have experience with making stuff that touches food?
Of course. I used corn oil to finish it. Normally I would do some sort of like combination of paraffin and linseed oil for other things to get the good finish on them. Um, so I don't do very many blades. This was the first blade that I've ever made. Uh, it's I got it. The steel was a lawnmower blade. I think it's like 10 series of some kind. Uh, really fun to forge. It was difficult to hold because I didn't have the most appropriate tongs. Um, let's see.
That looks like an ulu or a herb chopper or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's supposed to be an herb chopper. I forgot who I was inspired by. It might have
That's
been.
all right. Yeah. One thing I'll say about mower blades, particularly, because of course you've got to use the best mower blades to use, and I do that in inverted commas, is the off ride-on lawnmowers or industrial lawnmowers, because of course they are a mid-carbon steel. I had a little bit of discussion and saw a couple of other people on Facebook recently have a bit of a discussion about lawnmower blades, and of course they're not high carbon steel. They are but they are a tough steel, and of course utensils like that, herb choppers like that, they're perfect for, because they are a tough steel, but they still do have the ability to gain some hardness. So guys out there, that if you're scrappers like me, and there are like a lot of community blacksmiths out there don't be afraid to try them out. And of course, if you ever have a question, test your steel. Do the snap test, do the spark test, test your steel against a known steel if you have the ability to do it. But that way you can recycle steel that might otherwise not be an idea to use. And just before we go again, I just got a couple of people that have sort of leaving. So it looks like Dana Maggiore has had to head off. So have a great day there, Dana. You've had to pop out, so keep safe. As we had, just let me scroll back up again and let me see if we have anyone else ducked out. Wayne, sorry you've had a rough day, mate. Hope things get better. Just no junk monkey kid jumping on you there, Eric. Well, that's always good. It's good to have family time on a Sunday morning. And Wayne, hope you have a great evening. Thanks for a great day. Sorry, it's evening for me, but it's day for you. So thanks for joining us there. And also, Augie says to you there, Clara, that nice herb chopper. A lot of people are really loving it there.
Much appreciated, everybody. I'm loving the support.
So Clara, whereabouts are you? Where are you located? Like where of course I'm an Australian, so if you say your local town, I'm going to have no idea where that is. So for those of us, because not everyone in the chat, of course, is from the US, so let us know whereabouts in the world you are.
So I'm on the East Coast in New York, currently. Yeah, currently on Long Island, but I'm planning on moving to the Adirondack High Peaks region because I love being nestled between mountains.
Fair enough.
I've never been to Australia. I love the animals there. They're wild. I can't wait to visit.
Well, we love visitors here. Australia is a very multicultural nation, and we love having visitors from all over the world. I, of course, so for those of you that don't know, I live in the Northern Territory of Australia. So it's if you look at a map of Australia, you see the spike on the east coast, and you've got that boot-shaped one in the middle. I live on that boot-shaped one in the middle, right at the top. So and a lot of people don't know, the Australia is actually almost exactly the same size as the continental US. So we have basically the same amount of land space, give or take a couple hundred square miles, or maybe a couple thousand square miles, but we're almost the same size. So so Australia looks smaller on a map than it really is. But yeah, so I live right at the top, and of course Sydney and stuff like that are right down at the bottom on the east coast. So yeah, but So that's where I am. So if you ever, and Clara, this of course extends to you as well. If you ever make it over to Australia and you make it to my part of Australia, don't hesitate to give me a holler, and I'd be happy to let you come and visit and show you the sights and show you crocodiles and kangaroos and magpies live down south there, Yames, but they are great guard animals because they hate everyone.
I would love to see your forge. I mean, that solid fuel forge looks fantastic, much bigger than mine.
That's just a good old J-bod forge, just a box of dirt forge, but it does me quite well. Eric, no, Australia doesn't have a whole lot of nothing in the middle. Australia has a large desert, technically two large deserts in the middle, but deserts aren't as nothingness as people believe, particularly on Australian deserts. Get a little bit of rain and it turns a multitude of colours, and it's an absolutely beautiful place. However, in drought they can be rather scary places and relatively inhospitable. But then again, a lot of people say that Australia in general is relatively inhospitable. If you've ever read the science fiction, Australians are humans are space orcs, and Australians are death welders, and you'd understand what I'm talking about. Australia is a Category 5 death world all on its own. Yeah.
So I would say I have 2 more things to show you, and then I have to kind of go and get started with my day.
No worries.
So right here is a little curved bottle opener. It's the first bottle opener I've ever made, and I've made it just because people say bottle openers sell pretty easily, and it was definitely a fun project to make. Another pretty easy one. It is literally just the same material that the kebab skewers were made of, and I just wrapped it around itself and then used a ball punch to get the indentation on it. So another easy project to recommend.
Awesome.
And then the other thing would be, this is a hairpin and beret. This is again made from that same fencing material. At least this beret is. This was a blast to make. I drew it out pretty thin, and if you could see, I kind of melted the ends of it a little bit. Solid fuel. This is when I just started building the solid fuel forge, and they get up in temperature pretty quick. There's some hot spots that you have to look out for. The hairpin is a brassed leaf, and I love putting little brass accents on things. Very fun stuff.
Fantastic! It looks awesome. Alrighty, Paula, you did say that you have to get into your day, and looks like we are pushing the time where we're going to have to start packing up here this evening or this morning, guys. So thank you very much for joining us all. Of course, you guys, everyone wants an Australian animal, but none of you want to put up with the deadliness of them. But yeah, so Clara, thank you very much for joining in on such short notice this evening and showing us your wares so that people in the chat have an idea of where to find you. Where's the best place to get in contact with you? And of course, give your website again there for those in the chat.
So I'm on Instagram at the Insane Blacksmith. I am just starting my YouTube channel. Right. I'll appear in chat periodically. I'm sure you'll see me more often now.
And that's under the same title, Insane Blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Just Insane Blacksmith. Didn't put the.
Awesome.
other than that, yeah.
So the
Instagram and
website
YouTube
and
are probably the best places.
Instagram, YouTube, and the website. Fantastic. And so, guys, of course, I don't really like to shake my own chain here, but of course, I'm Adam. You can find me at Speargrass Forge, also located here on YouTube. That's Speargrass Forge, SPEARGRASS Forge. I'm also on Instagram as Speargrass Forge and on Facebook under the same name. And of course, you guys are watching us here live and in person on Island Metal Forge. Don't forget to like, subscribe, sharing your favorite social media for Yames, who has graciously let us take over his channel today and have this community conversation. Again, special thanks there to Clara for joining us from the Insane Blacksmith. It's great to meet you, and I hope to meet you in person at some stage. Hopefully next year when I come over the US for Quad State, I get to meet you in person, because that would be awesome. And guys, thank you very much for joining us. Yames is in my ear. It's time to go. I'm not sure whether he's doing the Windfall House today, but even if he's not, let's let everyone get onto their day. You have a safe day or evening or afternoon wherever you are. Thank you very much, and we'll catch us all next time. And I think I'll just double check with Yames, but I believe is Tim taking church next week. Okay, so just keep an eye on perhaps the community chats on YouTube, and of course on Facebook. It looks like Tim may be doing church next week, so you might have to head over his channel in order to tune into church. So make sure you keep an eye on that. Once again, thank you very much, Clara. Thank you very much, Yames. Everyone, you have a great, safe day. Keep those forges burning. Heat that steel and hit it hard. And we'll catch us all next time. Cheers.
Thank you.